Hey, Second Calvary, Brother Tim here with another episode of your Civic Corner. Today's episode is entitled, Do We Have a King? And so over the last several episodes, we really dug deep into the judicial branch, which is one of the three other co-equal branches of our federal government. But today I want to look at another co-equal branch, which is the executive branch, headed by the president. When our country was founded, there were fierce debates on how much power the central government would have, especially how much power the head of the government would have. So remember, what the founders of this country were running from in England, a strong executive. They were running from a king, a monarchy kind of a figure. So a quick look at Article 2 of the U.S. Constitution details the official duties of the President of the United States. And you would notice it only has 4 sections, real small. The legislative section is longer than that. And this is some of the duties that are listed, that are enumerated in that article. So pursuant to the oath of office, the president will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. They will serve as the as the commander-in-chief of the United States military and militia when called to service, is authorized to require principal officers of executive departments to provide written opinions upon duties of their offices. So that's the cabinet and the departments. Has the power to grant reprieves and pardons for offenses against the United States, except in the cases of impeachment. We've already seen that recently. Has the power to make treaties with the advice and consent of Congress. Has the power to nominate ambassadors and other officials with the advice and consent of the Congress. Has the power to fill vacancies that happen when the Senate is not in recess, that will expire at the end of the Senate's next session. They call those recess appointments. Shall periodically advise Congress on the state of the union. That sounds familiar, right? And give Congress recommendations that are thought that they think are necessary and expedient. Has the power to convene one or both houses of Congress during extraordinary occasions, and when Congress cannot agree to adjourn, has the power to adjourn them when he or she thinks the time is proper. Has the duty to receive ambassadors, meaning bringing them over, accepting their credentials, and other public ministers from around the world. We've seen that recently, right? Has a duty to see that the laws are faithfully executed. That's up for debate right now, right? And has the power to commission the offers of the United States. Those are what's listed in the Constitution. We could definitely read. We'll have that flashed on the screen for you, but you can definitely read. It's a very short section of the Constitution. But the founders favored an executive branch that wasn't as strong as a king. The real power was designed to be with the people, and definitely that's through our legislative branch as we elect our senators and our congresspeople. But as current events are showing, and throughout the history of our democracy, the executive branch has really gained a lot of power over time. So remember our discussion when we were talking about the judicial branch, about the types of power each branch interprets they have from the Constitution. And some are listed, so some were listed in black and white, while others are implied. So the current administration is stretching the boundaries of executive power like no other administration has in modern times. And it's important that we review the Constitution section on the executive branch and observe how much the branch's power has increased over time through judicial interpretation. So sometimes, the executive branch might take an action that they deem is lawful. It gets challenged in court, and through judicial interpretation, sometimes that action is deemed appropriate, deemed constitutional, and of course there will be a whole opinion about that and citing of the sources and what have you, and that by itself increases the power of that branch. So by laws that are passed over time, so sometimes Congress can give the power to the executive to do X, Y, and Z, and so sometimes the powers can be increased by law and by the president's office itself pushing the envelope, as we see now. And again, if there's that back and forth, can the president do this? Can the president do that? The president just did this, and was it lawful? Was it constitutional? And sometimes the president they got the the slap on the hand by the courts, and sometimes they're given the green light to continue with what they're doing. And so all these opinions over time give the next president or the next person in that office the right to do it. Or at least they feel the right to do it, or the right to go even further if they feel like they have different circumstances. So in the next few episodes, we're really going to explore the makeup of the executive branch that supports the president, because the president doesn't act. We see the president, we elect the president and the vice president, but there's many other folks that are put into the executive branch that help make the engine that we call the government go. And so it's really important that we understand kind of where we came from with the branch, and where how big it's gotten, and the kind of the structure of that. And then we can really look at current events and really say, wow, he's really going, this current administration is going above and beyond what we've seen before. And as you see, as we talked about in our previous episodes, the judicial branch is having a lot of play right now in terms of checking the other branches' power. So this is Brother Tim with another episode of your Civic Corner. Can't wait to see you soon. Peace.